Good morning, everyone. Today in English, let's move on to our next chapter, and it's a poem titled My Dog Spot. So, before moving on to the chapter, we have a warm up activity. Let's see what it is. You can also open your text, page number 87. So, let's read the warm up activity. Do you have a pet at home? How do you help in taking care of your pet? If you do not have a pet, which animal would you like to keep as one and why? So what is the question here? Do you have a pet at home? The question is, do you have a pet? How do you help in taking care of your pet? So what all you do to take care of your pet? If you do not have a pet, which animal would you like to keep as one and why? So if you are not having a pet now, which animal would you prefer to have as pet and what is the reason for it? So this is your warm-up activity. Now here in this poem, we are going to learn about a pet dog. So people love keeping pets at home, right? Some may be having cats, some may be having dogs, and some may be even having birds at home. And these pet animals slowly and gradually become a part of the family. And the family members understands the likes and dislikes of these pet animals. So here is a poem about a pet dog named Spot. So let's move on to our poem. This poem is written by Rodney Bennett. So this is the poet who has written a poem, My Dog Spot. Now let's read the poem. The first paragraph, let's see. Read a poem about a pet dog named Spot. My Dog Spot. I have a white dog whose name is Spot, and he is sometimes white and he is sometimes not. But whether he is white or whether he is not, there's a patch on his ear that makes him Spot. So what is told here? It said that I have a white dog. Here I is referred to the poet. The poet is saying I have a white dog. So what is the color of the dog? It is white. So I have a white dog whose name is Spot. And what is the name of the dog? The name is Spot. And he's sometimes white and he's sometimes not. And the poet is saying that sometimes he is white, but sometimes he is not white. Let's see what is the reason for that. But whether he is white or whether he is not, there's a patch on his ear that makes him Spot. So the poet is saying that sometimes he is white and sometimes he is not white. And why? Whether he is white or not, there's a patch on his ear. So what do you mean by patch? A patch means a mark on the ear. So it is sometimes characterized by another color. So here there's a patch on the ear. On the dog's ear there's a patch. There is a different color, and that is why he is called Spot, and that makes him Spot. So let's read that once again. I have a white dog whose name is Spot, and he is sometimes white and is sometimes not. But whether he is white or whether he is not, there is a patch on his ear that makes him Spot. So what is the poet saying? The poet is having a dog white in color and his name is Spot. And he is also saying that sometimes the dog is white and sometimes he is not. Why? Because he is having a patch on the ear, and that is why he is called Spot. Let's look at our next stanza. He has a tongue that is long and pink, and he lolls it out when he wants to think. He seems to think most when the weather is hot. He's a wise sort of dog, is my dog Spot. So let's see the stanza. He has a tongue that is long and pink. So the dog has a tongue, and what is the color of it? It is pink in color. And how is it described? It is long and pink. And he lolls it out when he wants to think. And what does this dog do with the tongue? He lolls it out. That is, he sticks his tongue out when he thinks. The poet is saying that when the dog is thinking about something, he sticks his tongue out. So that is why it said, and he lolls it out. That tongue, he lolls it out. That means he sticks his tongue out when he wants to think. So when he is thinking, when he wants to think, he keeps his tongue out. So he has a tongue that is long and pink, and he lolls it out when he wants to think. Moving on to the next page, 88. He seems to think most when the weather is hot. He's a wise sort of dog, is my dog Spot. So here the poet is saying he seems to think most when the weather is hot. So when the weather is hot, the dog seems to think most. So when the weather is hot, it is in the summer season. So the poet is saying during the summer season, the dog thinks most, and that is when he keeps his tongue outside. He is a wise sort of dog, is my dog Spot. And here wise means clever, intelligent. He has a lot of knowledge, and that type of dog the Spot is. So he's saying, the poet is saying, he's a wise sort of dog and is my dog Spot. Next paragraph, he likes bone and he likes a ball, but he doesn't care for a cat at all. He waggles his tail and he knows what's what. So I'm glad that he's my dog Spot. So here the poet is saying that dog named Spot likes a bone and he likes a ball. So what are his likes? He likes ball and a bone, but he dislikes something. What is it? But he doesn't care for a cat at all. So he doesn't care, that is he dislikes, he hates cats. What is his likes? He likes a ball and a bone and he dislikes cats. He waggles his tail and he knows what's what. Waggles means the moving of the tail. The dogs keeps on moving their tail back and forth. So that is what is called waggles. And here the poet is saying he waggles his tail. He means the dog. The dog waggles his tail and he knows what's what. And he is an intelligent and a clever dog and he knows what to do. So I am glad that he is my dog. So here the poet is saying that he is so glad. The poet is glad. Glad means happy. Why he is happy? That he is my dog. That because Spot is his dog, the poet is so happy for him, and that is my dog Spot. Now this is about the poem My Dog Spot. Here the poet is saying about his likes and dislikes. He is saying that when the dog thinks most, he keeps his tongue outside and he likes bone and ball. And also he is saying that this dog is a very wise one. Now let's recite the poem. Once again, you can also recite the poem along with me. My dog Spot. I have a white dog whose name is Spot. And he's sometimes white and he's sometimes not. But whether he's white or whether he's not, there's a patch on his ear that makes him Spot. He has a tongue that is long and pink, and he lolls it out when he wants to think. He seems to think most when the weather is hot. He's a wise sort of dog, is my dog Spot. He likes a bone and he likes a ball, but he doesn't care for a cat at all. He waggles his tail and he knows what's what. So I'm glad that he's my dog Spot. So this is all about the poem. You can read the poem 2 times. And now let's move on to our exercise part. We have reading comprehension first. So let's look at the sentences. First one, tick the correct answer to complete each sentence. So let's see the questions. Spot was white, black, black and white. So what's the color of Spot? Spot's tongue was pink, long and pink. Third question, Spot hung his tongue out the most in winter, summer, monsoon. And the fourth question, Spot did not care about cats, rats, pigeons. Now let's look at the answers. The first question, Spot was black and white. So tick the correct option, black and white. The second one, Spot's tongue was long and pink. So you can tick the option long and pink. Third, Spot hung his tongue out the most in which season? Is it in summer, monsoon or winter? It's told that when the weather is hot, the dog thinks most. So which season it is? It is the summer season. So tick the summer. Fourth one, Spot did not care about cats, rats, pigeons. It is cats. Now let's move on to answer these questions. So you can write down the questions in your notebook. Now let's start. Let's look at the first question. Why does the poet say that Spot is sometimes white and sometimes not? So write down the question and let's look at the answer. The poet says that Spot is sometimes white and sometimes not because of the spot on his ear. So we'll move on to the second question. Why has the poet named his dog Spot? And what's the answer? The poet says so because the dog has many spots on his body. Next one, third question. According to the poet, what is Spot doing when he hangs his tongue out? And the answer, when Spot hangs his tongue out, he is thinking. Fourth one, list the things Spot likes. So what all are the things that Spot likes? And the answer is Spot likes bonds and balls. Next question, why is the poet happy to have Spot as his dog? And the answer, the poet is happy to have Spot as his dog because he wags his tail and he knows a lot. So these are the question answers. You can write down this in your notebook. Now let's move on to vocabulary, page number 89. These are movement words and let's see what it is. The word loll and waggle suggests movement. You have read about movement words before. Some of them are buzz, clap and flop. So here it is about movement words, and this poem we came across the words loll, waggle, etc. Let's see some other words. Now read these words and circle the ones that are movement words. So here some words are given and we have to circle the words that are movement words. Now let's see what are the words. Strong, stare, flutter, sit, fly, slide, crawl, skip, swing, climb, happy, fall. So which are movement words? Let's look at the first word, strong. Is it a movement word? No. So no need of circling it. What about stare? That is also not a movement word. Flutter. Flutter means the flapping of the bird's wings. So it's a movement word. The next, sit, is also a movement word. Fly again is a movement word. Slide, crawl, skip, swing, climb. These all are movement words. And what about the word happy? It is not a movement word. And the last word, fall. It is also a movement word. Now you can circle the words that are movement words. You can circle the words flutter, fly, slide, crawl, skip, swing, climb, fall and sit. These are the movement words that are mentioned here. Moving on to our next topic, it is writing. Sentence making. Write 5 sentences on your favorite wild animal. Draw the animal in your notebook. So this is about writing about your favorite wild animal. So which wild animal is your favorite? Write 5 sentences about your favorite animal and also draw the animal in your notebook. So this is the activity for you to do. Next, let's move on to my word bank. Write the new words that you have learned in this poem. So when you were reading the poem, which all new words you came across, you can write here in the space provided. And with this, we finish this chapter. We'll be meeting in the next class. Till then, thank you.